Hi, everybody. Thomas Miller from the Fun Astrology audio podcast. We release every morning at 3 a.m., Monday through Saturday Eastern Time. Come check us out on your favorite podcast app. But here, let's take a video look at the chart of Kevin McCarthy. We do have an accurate birth time on him, of course, ousted as Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives this afternoon, just before 5 o'clock. And we're going to take a look at some of the characteristics in this chart. I think there is a theme that, if you'll go with me here, is a bit of a mind bender. But look at this. Let me see if I can convince you. This has an element of fate about it, which kind of, I was like, what do you do with this? But look, so first of all, I've put the time of the vote here. But in the last couple of videos that I've released, we talked about the placements of these planets. And there are two what's known as a yod in this chart. It's the symbolism of the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, but it is kind of it's an aspect of fate. Something is going to happen to trigger the two base planets. See, it's like this. They call it the alternative name is the witch's hat, because it's a long triangle. So these legs are 150-degree quincunxes or inconjuncts. It points to the focus planet up here, and then down here at the base is a 60-degree sextile. All right, let me show you what it looks like. Here is Neptune. This is one of them. Neptune is in the career house of Kevin McCarthy. Here's the one leg coming down to Venus. Here's the other leg coming down, and this is the trigger right here, Mars and the south node of the moon. We've been looking at this and talking about it, and that is one of the things that now, if you are packing your boxes to move out of the speaker's quarters in the U.S. Capitol building, you would be thinking about Mars aspecting the south node of the moon. Now, the other yod has Venus at the top, and it has Pluto, the planet of transformation, and Neptune at the 60-degree base. So we are talking about this fated element of change, of destiny even. Kevin McCarthy, I looked him up. He's a career politician, basically. He went into state politics out of college, worked his way up to the national scene, and then failed in 2015 to replace John Boehner. Paul Ryan won that vote. Then he was able to come back and win this last speakership, which only lasted just a handful of months. But look at this other thing. Here's the other fate thing. In his natal chart, he has Pluto and Uranus 1 degree apart in retrograde, both of them. And over that is this little point called the vertex. And I've been putting that on charts because it indicates fate. You can Google it and you'll know about all that I do on it, because it's not that well studied. But wherever it shows up in the chart, it just is a signpost that whatever is matching around it is something that is fated. And that's how astrology has been interpreting this. This little guy here is called Urania, and that is where astrology shows up in the chart. So even with this Uranus-Pluto, which he's lived with all of his life, but it is in the home, the house side of the chart, now has this fated point coming across that has been depicted by astrology. And here's the other thing, and then we haven't gotten to the juicy one yet, but Jupiter and Uranus, which are in the sky right now in his chart, in Taurus in the 12th house of endings and completions by sudden surprises. Now look, I know, I get the argument. These are not fast movers. They've been in there for a long time. This has been in there for years. Why did it just happen now? Because of down here. Because now is the right time. But look at this, and this is from the you can't make this stuff up department. Saturn is sitting right on top of his natal Saturn. It's called the second Saturn return. He is right there at that point. In just a wee little bit, it will move over 2 degrees and it will be right on his natal Saturn. And that is often a time of change, and it's often a time of personal realignment. So he has definitely been going through this. We don't know what the fated destiny part of this is. What's behind it? Why these yods? Why this symbolism? Why this conflict and change? Why the sudden surprises? There's money involved here too, and the market was down big, hard today as well. So it's like all of these things are coming together. And if you go back and look at that last video, I was just saying, I don't know what this chart out here represents, but the pieces are starting to fall together because a big hard down day on the market on the same day, for the first time in 250 years, the United States ousts one of its speakers of the House. Come join us on the Fun Astrology Daily podcast. We'll be talking about this, but Wednesday's episode is really awesome, how we're touching lives with this message of astrology. I'll see you back soon. Thanks for watching.